action figures, paint, write a song, write poetry, or maybe you just like and love nature. Maybe you like to shoot a basketball. Maybe you like to catch a football. Things that made you feel good, free, liberated. For me, it was most definitely music and being creative in some way, shape, or form. In middle school, I kept a journal that I would write poetry and personal things in. And in my 8th grade year, I let other girls in my grade read it. It went around like hot potato. I'm telling you, the girlies were locked in. I always excelled in writing from elementary school through high school. Writing, creating music always seemed to ground me. It was my happy place. I use my right side of the brain more, which is how I learned and retain information. I guess that's my Pisces rising nature. As I grew older, I did get better, but I most definitely wasn't the one getting A's and B's in math or science. But when it came to writing and art, it was always on display. As I was saying earlier, we get placed in the school systems, whose job is to create a nation of workers, not thinkers. And that was said by John D. Rockefeller. We go through certain traumas and attachments. As a child, it was abandonment from my dad and not being affirmed by my mom. I had an attachment to boys. I was boy crazy, loco. To trying to show people their fullest potential, let down by friends and family members. At 26, being shunned for being pregnant with my second child by coworkers. All of these different traumas and baggage weighing me down, taking me away from my authentic self, from the root of it all, my inner child. And my inner child was suppressed, which caused confusion along the way of my journey, which caused me to lose sight of my passions. It wasn't until I was 29 when I had my initial spiritual awakening, and my traumas, the baggage, the hurt, the pain, the anger, came bomb rushing at me. I had to face the truth at that point. There was no more running because my inner child was coming up to the surface and she wasn't happy. She was not happy. She felt suppressed and she let me know that. And I had no choice but to go and deal with the trauma, the hurt, the pain, the anger. I had the luxury of my dad coming to stay with me. You know, I've always forgiven him for not necessarily being there when I was younger, but it was just something about him coming to stay with me. We were able to bond by it, I was able to receive hugs and all of that good stuff that my inner child needed. My inner child was craving, my inner child wanted, so that helped me to heal that wound of abandonment. Now with my mom, it's a whole nother story, but just coming to grips, that guess what, Don, you're old enough to affirm yourself and your inner child, and that Source sees you and Source affirms you. That helped me to deal with that. So just all in all, just dealing with my traumas, dealing with the pain, from friendships, from relationships, all of those things helped me to heal my inner child. So as I was helping my adult self to heal, my inner child was able to heal as well. And because I faced my shadow self, I faced the things that hurt me, the things that upsetted me. Now it's like I'm free. Now I can be me. Now I have returned to the true essence of who I am, and my inner child is happy. She feels free. We're not at odds anymore. We're doing this thing together. And like I was saying, releasing, the baggage and the trauma and just, actively healing has brought me back to me. I can focus on myself that's why it's so important to work on healing, to work on your shadow work, to work on your traumas, the hurt, the pain, to work on that, because it's going to bring you back to who you are. Then you can focus on yourself. It's going to align you with your truest passions. Your inner child is the gateway to your passions. The things that we did when we were younger, those are the things that we truly love. And the world separated us from that. And your inner child is just waiting to reconnect with you. It's waiting to work on your passions with you. Y'all, I apologize for the camera not being exactly positioned correctly when I was sketching out the head. But this is the final sketch of it, and I had to bring the mouth in a little bit more because I had it open too wide. You probably noticed that. But yeah, I'm not an artist, but again, just coming up with some ideas for my logo. I want to do a clothing line, and I want to name it Aki, which is my middle name, which vibrates at energy 2, and with 2 being duality, I thought I'd bring in the yin yang sign. And then I have like this connection with snakes. I feel I've dreamt of snakes ever since I was younger, and snakes just don't mind making this presence known to me. And snakes is not evil. Everything has duality to it. Snakes represents new beginnings, change, the shedding, the falling off, coming into like the new version of yourself. And this is a snake, eating itself, devouring itself, and signifying that its old self be gone and in with the new. But yes, Aki.